$60. That's how much this McFarlane Toys action figure of Diablo 4 Lilith is going to cost you. $60. But the big question is it worth it? Now, I've been a Diablo video game fan since D1, when the scariest thing wasn't running out of health potions, but being knocked offline because somebody picked up the phone. I'm super stoked that we are actually getting a Diablo 4 action figure, and that it's of Lilith, because she's the most iconic character in this franchise. I'm so glad that we're finally getting action figures from McFarlane Toys, because when they announced that they actually got this franchise a few years ago, I was hoping they were going to be doing this, but instead we got those weird pre-posed Diablo statues with those mystery packs of weapons and armors that it was just kind of a meh for me. It's like, no thank you. So today we're going to be unboxing the Mother of Sanctuary and finding out if the $60 demoness is actually going to deliver. So grab your gear, your health potions, and in the words of Deckard Cain,
stay a while and listen.
Alright, a quick look at the packaging. McFarlane gives us a nice collector's box with some cool gold foil text on the front and a great display of what you get inside. There's also this cool Lilith artwork on the side and on the back from the Diablo 4 video game. But honestly, we're not here to stare at cardboard, so let's crack this thing open. Alright, let's see all the hellish parts that we get with this Diablo 4 Lilith action figure. First off, we have her blood petals, which are simply these little cutout shapes on a glossy dark red paper to resemble blood. And honestly, it's kind of a meh for me, a little cheap out. Would have loved to actually seen hard plastic shaped rose petals that went from a dark red to a light red. That would have been really, really way better for an elite figure such as this. Next, McFarlane provides us with a stand for this action figure. It comes in two pieces. The base even has the part for the foothold, and the part that's going to hold the waist just simply inserts like so. I do like the fact that it has locking right here, so it's going to be very tight. Great finger pressure, so it takes a little bit to make it move up and down. But what this shows for me is that with her large wings, with her tiny feet, there is going to be some stability issues. I would not be shocked. Not sure if we're going to get dramatic action poses or just kind of standing still on the ground / floating. Okay, so this might actually be the coolest piece, maybe actually the coolest accessory that she comes with. But we have this amazing Diablo skull, the top half, where we see the front portion of the skull, the incredible fangs jutting out, the massive horns, just gorgeous. This thing is actually kind of one of the reasons why I got this action figure, and the fact that I'm a Diablo fan, but I love the red fading into the black, the paint wash on this dill. This thing is just lovingly detailed, lovingly sculpted and painted. This thing is an amazing piece. They spared no expense on this one actually. Even have the upper mouth ridges sculpted in, as you can see right in there. That is just a great attention to detail. This is alone a great Diablo fan piece. Then we have Lilith's demonic bat-like wings. These things are massive. I'm just gonna set one down. They're exactly the same, but they actually did a great job on the sculpt, giving great texture everywhere. We've got the skin pulling, drooping, modeled all over the place. Great washes within the leathery folds, as well as within the bony intrusions that connect the flapping wings. These are great, even like blood tipped up here, whatever you would call this, like kind of a claw. This thing is great. This thing is massive. It's almost basically the size of the action figure itself. And I love the fact that they spent a lot of good time on designing this. I mean, look at the paint. There is a lot of darks and grays. I would have loved the fact that they would have added maybe some holes within her wings, but I don't know if she has it. I can't remember, but I love the fact that we have the tattering going on at the edges right here. This thing is just great. Both of these wings, they go in on a peg section right here. That's on the back of her, which I'll show you in just a second, so just stay tuned for that. And Lilith does come with 3 alternate face plates that show a wide range of well, hardly any emotion. As you can see, they're very, very similar. I mean, the nuances is kind of hard to tell. I mean, this one was almost like a resting face. There's more annoyance than anything. This one right here, this face, it looks like she's got a bit of a scowl to her, so slightly angry. And this one is just a bad application of makeup with blood dripping from her lips. No, but I mean, it's almost like a no emotion kind of a face. I mean, these things are extremely well done. They're all pretty much the same. Great skin coloring. I love the black tears running down her face. I don't know if this is, I wouldn't call this a crown. I mean, it's more like her, what would you call it? Like her skull just kind of extruding past her skin, leading all the way up to, if I'm not mistaken, that's probably the soul stone right up there, which is great. But they did a great job on the paint here. Lots of great things in the ridges. But I would have loved to have seen a more wide variety of faces, especially one of just pure anger where her mouth is just open, bearing fangs. That would have been awesome. And of course, all action figures do come with a wide variety of hand types. Here we have a more open, grasping kind of, I'm going to claw your eyes out hands. For some odd reason, she comes with a gimme a gun trigger figure hand, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if actually, I want to see if I can pose her with a gun. That'd be kind of an interesting take in Diablo. And the right hand side of that hand set is a more item grasping type, where she would probably hold a weapon of some sort. It is a semi-closed fist with an opening, as we can see. And of course, every great action figure does come with punching hands, because you never know when Lilith needs to punch somebody out. And of course, I'm definitely going to be saving the best for last, hopefully, but the action figure herself. Here is the Diablo 4 Lilith, and overall at first glance, this thing looks fantastic. Lots of great details, as I can see, covering her from front to back and side to side. I mean, first off, the iconic face, and she again has more of a resting kind of face motion. The portion that we saw right here earlier with face swapping, I mean, it leads into her set of horns that protrude out. Great detail, great coloring, as we can see. There's washes in there. That is just great. The soul stone prominently displayed right up there, so shiny. She's got wonderful gold armor and frills surrounding her on her waist, shoulder, armbands, magical items galore. The iconic long demonic tassel, which has great detail of a kind of an animal skull right down there, some kind of like shield-like thing, ending in this piece, whatever that is, but I mean, it's beautiful. Soft plastic, even got a little bit of a leather grain texture to it. Nothing on the back, it's pretty smooth there. Up on her upper torso, we have a flat painted kind of gray portion of her costume, of her dress, which then leads into a little bit into the shoulder. That forms into soft goods cloth gray and tatteredness on black portions. Again, and this further leads down to her legs with more of the tattered goods soft clothing here and there. So that's really nice. She on her belt, as we can see, gold kind of, I don't know, just kind of accessories. They're probably not accessories, they're probably actually meant for something, but they go along the back end. Nice soft plastic, so that's good. Her iconic tail portion that kind of comes from the back, which again, soft plastic, wickedly designed. I mean, it feels and looks like the spinal aspect of the tail that ends in kind of a barbed hook deal. Love the fact that it's soft plastic. Would have loved if this was wired, so you know, can maybe like move it, but I don't think it's an actual thing that's supposed to move. Love the gold neck collar jewelry up there. It is designed beautifully with all of the texturing that they did there. But my biggest gripe with the $60 figure is face is great, but when it came to the body, even though it's really good, it's sculpted amazingly, but there is no paint texture to the torso, shoulder, hands, feet. I mean, her skin in the video game is not this kind of solid coloring. It does have grayish veins and whatnot. They went to all that work adding a wash do accessories like this that they could have taken the time for a $60 figure and added it to her. And also even to the face a little bit more. I mean, they did it to her horns, so that's kind of a sad deal. And the other gripe about this action figure, especially for a $60 action figure, is when you get to her feet, it looks like robot feet, as we can see. I mean, obviously with the ankles, you're gonna have to do it this way to give you some rocking motion. But my biggest gripe right here is the black pin that they use to connect the toe joint, as we can see here. I mean, it really takes away from the illusion. We could not paint that the same skin tone color. I mean, just to kind of mask it some. I mean, again, it's not a really big deal. Most people aren't gonna look down there, but this is a $60 figure for Pete's sakes. And again, she does pretty much have a basic facial expression that she comes with default on here. Really no emotions, just maybe pure annoyance. And more open splayed hands type that she comes with as default, as we can see here. And I really like the fact that they actually incorporated her nails here. Wish they would have painted them black to kind of give them some more details to it, because I don't think her fingernails are flesh color. The legs themselves, right underneath, if you do lift up the dress, they're just basic. They just stuck anything on there. So you're not going to get any real details there. But you will have the articulation, as you can see. But you won't see it, obviously, with the soft goods covering that. But there will be, as I can already tell, since there's no slit cut in the dress, gonna be some issues with articulation and posing. Now, I'm gonna show you guys how to change out the faceplate. You just kind of take your fingers right in here, wiggle it a little bit. As you can see, it's already come loose. There's a hole and slot right there, as you can see. And that just easily pop in a new faceplate like so. And how do you install the wings? We'll just push your head back a little bit, give us some clearance. So left and right side, take the wing. That has a hole. Just insert like so, hopefully pretty easy, and just push until it snaps. But you know what? I'm probably gonna have to use a little bit of heat. I don't want to break the wing because I'm not feeling the snap go in. So if you don't, you're probably gonna get a loose wing that pops out like that. So I'll do that off camera. But use a little heat to get these things in there. Whether you want to do a hairdryer method, which I have a perfect video for that, showing how that works. Or you could use the hot water method. Just be careful and not melt your figure. Now for sure you'll have to utilize Lilith's wings to keep her stable without the use of an action figure stand. But if not used right, due to the weight placement of the wings, she just falls over. Now let's check out the articulation on this Queen of Demons. Starting with the head, nice spin around, as we can see, good 360. Down motion, not too bad at the chin. And surprising, with all those horns, she does go back very well. Side to side, not too bad either. Great rotation, just great articulation all in all throughout the head itself. Arms at the shoulder, really great T motion, as we can see. Let's move her head to the little of here. See if we get a good 360. Not too bad. There is going to be restriction right here due to this kind of, I guess, horntail coming out, spikes. So she's not going to get a full 360. Part of her sculpt is going to block that, as we can see right here. Elbow articulation. Nicely double jointed. Though you really can't see behind the cloth, but you definitely can tell by the movement. So really nice there. Is there any rotation here at the bicep? Nope, there feels like there might have been, but it's definitely restricted maybe to the armor or something. Wrist, nice 360 spin around. Will they point inwards? Yes, they will, just a little bit. And restriction here at the armor area, so you're not really gonna get inwards, outwards too much, it doesn't feel like. Just a little bit of the inwards, as we can see. Wing articulation, since she has them, they can spread out to a full length and go back really nicely. There is a bit of rotation, but if you go too far, it will pop out. So you just have to kind of make sure to keep that in mind. But you can rotate them some, like so. So back and forth, and a little bit of rotation. Now she does have some upper torso rotation. We got a nice 360 if you need to do it, but I'm not going to go the full way because the wings do get in the way of that. Does she have any crunch motions? No crunch at all. Any mid-torso rotation? There does not seem to be. It's definitely a restriction going on right in here. Now, because of the clothing and there is no cut seams on the front or on the back. There's probably definitely going to be restriction on the articulation of the legs. So she can go this far through the fabric. Kicks are minimal as well, again due to the fabric. Knee articulation, should she need it. You can get that. It's going to go along there. We'll bunch up the fabric on the other side. But overall, great articulation there. There's no upper thigh rotation and no leg rotation either. Here at the foot, at the ankle, points down, points up, really nice. Weirdly enough, I'm not getting any rocking posing, so none there. And since we have that black pin in the foot, it does have articulation here at the toes. Nicely going back to up and back to neutral, really smooth. Though again, really wish they would have painted that. Overall, okay articulation, great where she has it, but a lot of restrictions for this figure. So you're not really gonna pose Lilith in too many action poses, as I can tell. Now exactly how tall is this Diablo 4 Lilith? Now this Diablo 4 Lilith comes out to be just right under 8 inches tall, which is actually an impressive height for this action figure. But what's even crazier is that if you adjust her wings just right, you can get them at a wingspan of 10 inches wide. Now let's just give the daughter of Mephisto the shelf test to see how well she's gonna fit within your collection. And as you can see, she does take up some pretty prime real estate with her size and especially with that wingspan. So you made it to the end of this video. Thank you, by the way. Now you want to know my thoughts on this Diablo 4 action figure. Well, if you are a hardcore Diablo 4 fan, I would say get this piece because it's actually really cool. But other than that, I mean, even I like this video game, and I kind of have to say, because it's $60, I'm not that impressed with the action figure. Honestly speaking, if I would have known what I would have known, I would have passed on this deal. Mainly because, again, it's a $60 figure. So I'm expecting a lot more, especially in the paint job, where Lilith could have had a few washes to her to make her stand out, just like they did with the Diablo skull. And they used black pins in her feet. I know that's probably commonplace, but again, they should have painted those to match her flesh tone. We're spending $60. I kind of expect a bit of quality. Also, there are limitations throughout due to her wings, the sculpt, on the articulation that she can have. So we're not going to get a ton of dynamic poses. And another aspect is, because of the weight distribution, especially due to those wings, there are some issues with balance if not using those wings properly, and the stand, which isn't that great of a stand. There are a lot of balance issues, so it limits the type of posing you can do with this figure, and honestly, doesn't make it that much fun to kind of articulate and pose, honestly speaking. But that's just my opinion. I would love to hear from you guys and girls, my Nerdmazing fans. What did you think about this Lilith action figure from McFarlane Toys? Especially if you have it. Drop your comments below. Do you like it? Do you love it? Now again, I'm hoping that McFarlane Toys is going to continue this line, and I would love to see other characters such as the Barbarian, the Necromancer, maybe even other monsters such as the Butcher, the Imps, the Goatman. Those would probably be a lot easier to sculpt and have fun with in dynamic posing, because you're not going to have those issues with the wings. Again, I understand she's Lilith, she's got big wings, and she's got a lot going on to her that could be a sort of a disadvantage when you're doing it in the sculpt. But let me know in the comments below, what character, what monster would you like McFarlane Toys to do next within the Diablo 4 franchise? So hopefully you really enjoyed this Diablo 4 action figure review of Lilith, and if you did, check out these collectible reviews right here. And also don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not, and share this video out. Keep the Nerdmazing train going. Well, this is Adam Nerdmazing, and I'll see you next time. Bye!